This episode of Throwback Thursday is David Meltzer. He has a journey from a childhood of which he's searching for identity, and he allows it to play out in his profession. He shares with you his mindset and his journey from where he was to where he now stands and finding his true self. I really like talking to David. He's got a great mindset and he's got something to offer to everybody. Listen and enjoy.
But Lee Steinberg, the most notable sports agent in the world, they made the movie Jerry Maguire about Lee, who you know. Lee hires me not because I'm a great lawyer, not because I'm a great sports agent or athlete like Warren Moon, who later becomes my business partner, but he hires me because I'm the only one with that type of background that at the highest level was a technology business expert, and I knew how to raise money, and he saw the future of sports in venture and technology, not in agency. And he was absolutely correct 20 years later, because that's what sports business is about, venture and technology. It's very little about the agentry side of it, representation, the legal side of what most people thought they needed to be a sports agent. But not only was I a multimillionaire, I actually had access to what billionaires could afford to have access to. The back cabins at the Masters, backstage at the Grammys and the Oscars, the sidelines at the Super Bowl, the locker rooms, the parties. And that was actually my downfall, is that I actually started surrounding myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas. I started believing my own bullshit, and I stopped living by the values, those Akron, Ohio values that my single mom taught me by watching her live her life with character and discipline and values. And I forgot where I came from, and I needed to regain that. And as always, the universe loves to provide you pain to indicate that you have a better place to be. So I lost over $100 million, went bankrupt, almost lost my wife and my 3 children, and almost even lost my life, but for my mom, my dad, my best friend, and my wife standing up to me and telling me I don't know what I don't know, that although I was perceived as having everything, the money, the beautiful family, the happiness, the joy, everything I wanted I could buy, they told me I was living an empty existence and I was going to end up dead. And thank goodness I finally listened to my wife, and I took stock in who I was and what I wanted to become. And over the last 17 years, I've been on a journey of how to live in abundance in the world of more than enough of everything for everyone, by utilizing wisdom and faith to get me in the divine direction, in the divine time, to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people, and still have a lot of fun with the right people and ideas around me.
I want to touch on your experience there with Mr. Steinberg. How easily, and share with me, because that environment's intoxicating. The sidelines of the Super Bowls, the backstage, and that's a lot of the demise of many people, because it's not really a real reality. It's a false reality. So what was something that stuck out with you that you realized this just doesn't strike my core, and it was time to go? What happened?
You know, Lee suffered from the same problem of knowing who I am and worried about what other people think I am. And when I was backstage and on the sidelines in the locker rooms, everybody was so worried about what people thought they were. And everybody who got to where they were forgot who they actually were. And so I shifted my paradigm and my perspective with gratitude and forgiveness, accountability and effective communication. I started finding the light, the love, and the lessons in places where other people weren't seeing it. I fired people who were bleeding me and hired people who were feeding me. I started to live with those values and have daily practices aligned with those values, knowing that good behavior was behavior that was aligned with where I wanted to or better. And I had to change my bad behavior, which was creating bad progress, which meant bad behavior was simply that behavior that was not aligned with where I wanted to be or better. So I
Mhm.
started to surround myself with the values, with the practices, and executing on it in a very consistent, persistent way. And then when I could enjoy it, the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of my potential, not what other people wanted for me or thought of me or what was missing or what I didn't have, but what I wanted personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise. It was amazing how the paradigm went from I am to what I think I am, or I want more, to I am, what am I doing to interfere with the more that I already have, the abundant infinite loop, the unified system of thought, the omniscient, all powerful, all knowing source that was coming through me for others. I was interfering with it. And that's when abundance became a practice of mine over 17 years. And believe it or not, I was able to make more money, help more people, and have more fun than I ever dreamed of.
Now yours, so then this takes root in your 40s. So I'm using your four principles of gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication. So you go on to have incredible success. You have a number of books, so you're an author. You have a blog. You're a podcaster, and you're running like four consecutive businesses in line with all of this. I mean, incredible business mind, ability to stay organized, and all of that, and you're flourishing. But it seems to me like it's your core values that apply to all of this, and in maxing your potential is, yeah, it's like you found your spot in life. You're in the sweet spot right now.
Yeah, and I utilize those values, practices, and an execution model and apply them by utilizing the dependent variable of time. If someone was going to say what my love language was or what my superpower is, it's I understand time. I understand the infinite time of the past that is only limited by the meaning that I give it, which incorporates the gratitude and the forgiveness that's necessary to align the meaning of the failures, the setbacks, the mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances of my past, not to limit me, but to align with where I want to be or better. Then, of course, I use the man-made constructive time, 24 hours, which, by the way, we're all guaranteed 24 hours a day for every day of our life, except for the last day. And so you will be cheated the last day, hopefully not too many hours or minutes, but you will be cheated the last day. But too many people don't treat the day with what it's giving us, 24 hours guaranteed. And then making sure that not only is the meaning of my past aligned with the productivity, accessibility, and gratitude of the day, with those lenses of activities of planned, unplanned, paid for, unpaid for, and sleep, but also understanding the limitations of our own self-image by knowing who I am and what I'm connected to and through, and just realizing that I limit my own potential because I'll never overachieve my own self-image. So therefore, what am I doing to interfere with my self-image? What am I doing to interfere with my potential? And when I realize this practice by utilizing time as a dependent variable in the infinite past and the infinite future, but maximizing each day to know my now and know my next and apply my why, it's amazing how much activity that's productive and aligned with the behaviors and the execution to get to a divine direction, divine time to take me to where I want to be or better.
With all your experience, what challenges with the tools you now have do you face moving forward?
For me, I only have one challenge, and it's aligned with the philosophies, theories, spirituality, and religious concepts that I have. And it's how am I reacting to fear, and how much time do I spend reacting to fear? You see, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I'm afraid of. I was abused when I was 9. I was poor. I have a lot of issues that are traumas. And I even believe in past lives only because I'm a best option person and I love life. So if someone gave me an option of one lifetime or millions, I'm choosing millions. So I have a lot of places where fear can become present in my life. And I found that that is a search that I'll work on, but the majority of my time is spent focused on how do I react to fear? And the reason is it's difficult to know what we're afraid of: genetic inheritance, energetic inheritance, childhood traumas. But it's so easy to identify how we react to fear. Because, for example, when you're pissed off, it's easy to know. When you're worried, it's easy to know. When you feel inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, guilty, resentful, offended, those are easy things to know. And I know one thing: when I'm in that ego-based consciousness, I'm interfering with my potential. So I've created a practice of utilizing wisdom and faith in order to shorten the distance of resistance that's created by my reaction to fear without worrying about what I'm afraid of. And therefore, people say to me, how do you have so much energy? How do you get so much done? In essence, that's what you're telling me with the questions you're asking. And the answer is, we all have the same amount of energy. I just don't interfere with it as much as everybody else. Even though I may not be in as good as physical shape as everyone on earth, I may not be younger than everyone on earth, I may not be taller or stronger, but yet I have more energy because I'm not interfering it with just minutes and moments. I'm interfering every day, not the normal days, weeks, months, and years that people spend in the reaction to fear.
David's truth and organic, authentic behavior is what shines through most and what will attract his audience to him. If you enjoyed that one, wait till you hear the next one with sports psychologist Eddie O'Connor. Thanks for listening to Leave Your Mark with Vince Cortese and Throwback Thursday. Join our cause and become a Leave Your Mark sponsor and experience real inspiration. Click the link below.